I wanted to talk about the Neptunian theme that keeps sticking out whenever I go into Neptune, which is to go into deep sleep meditation. There's a lot of changes that are going to be going on with the face of humanity. There's, it's really, there's going to be a compounding bunch of things. So, Venus is squaring. It's on tomorrow. It's exact. I'm pretty sure. It squares Saturn. That's in Pisces. Venus in Sagittarius squares Saturn in Pisces at about 2 degrees. And yes, right there. Well, 3 degrees. It happens tomorrow, and 3 degrees is actually it's a click in of something, like the 369, and so that's what we're working with. And so, with the 12 months and blah blah. And Saturn. See, the sneaky thing about Pisces right now also is that Neptune has been there, and Neptune rules Pisces. It's water, but see, Pisces also points at the part of the human organism that has this that lets their imagination run away so far to where there's this we have they call it the Piscean age, and that's when Christianity was brought into, I guess, vibrational frequency. The story. Well, something happened, and we don't know when it was. We really don't. It could be 400 years ago. I mean, really, let's count what happened just 3 years ago when they're killing close to 500 scientists who were holding the cure for the elements and the cancers that something was causing, and then they had to kill the people holding the cures. And so anyway, is that different than what Christ Jesus was up to? But anyway, asking for a 3-year-old, looking back at that Neptune theme already. I mean, we had because of the fact that Mercury is not done with its phase with Neptune, which is it comes with the moon's phases. You can see Neptune is involved. Mercury going direct today on the 1st of January proves to be there at 22 degrees that squares Neptune. There's a little bit of a vibration happening in Japan this morning with a tsunami. Well, there was a little water. There's land is turning into liquid there, kind of a thing, and that's where the tsunami went on. And there's a warning right now, and so 7.5 earthquake happened, and Mercury is not all the way square to Neptune now for the last time. I mean, it did this 1, 2, 3 squaring Neptune for like a whole month now, and it's been a theme of Neptune. So it's on the 10th, which is a magical number of 1, 1. Right now is 1, 1. We have as far as the 11, you see. So for 2 days in a row, it squares Neptune, which is just foggy communications, but it's a Neptunian theme, and definitely it has to do with a vast expanse, communications happening, a vast expanse across the globe. Sorry, it's global, geological. That's what Sagittarius is. And then, of course, Neptune, Pisces, that's oceanic. We're talking about the massive amount of water we have here. It's a theme. So now I just want to say how that Venus is squaring to Saturn in Pisces, and that is a vibration. She's learning from Pisces something. She has to learn something, but you see those two It's a square, and I just need to meditate on that vibrational frequency. It has to do with factory, like structures, uh, possibly. I don't know what could happen, say, with the Neptune Mercury triggering off something. Technically, Mars is still, see, it's at 27 today. It's squaring Neptune. That right there is stress. Geologically, culturally, Mars, it's like heating up. There's something going on. See, in Sagittarius, you'd say it's not necessarily a bad thing, but when it starts to square Neptune like this, it means that there's like, okay, so gaslighting will come to mind for sure, but really anything is possible because there's deception across the board. Now it's for the physical arena. It's very susceptible out there. In other words, everybody needs to be careful, especially by water and traveling. Sagittarius, especially, okay, so now if you come across a mindset, an ego that religious, that whole thing, and I notice it builds up in me, but see, you see, it's not always a negative connotation. There's a way to try and figure out, well, what are they really talking about? What is really going on? And that possibly could be going on too with a lot of us. With it being in Pisces, the Neptune in Pisces, it's like at home. It's like, yeah, let's really look at it. It's like, let's wipe the sleep out of our eyes. Even though we're continuing to sleep, let's wake up, because there's plenty of sleep still. Until you die, you wake up. But at least turn your five senses on here and trip out. Don't you want to advance into something more expansive than being stuck here wondering, if there is life after death or something like that? You see what I'm saying? I mean, let's just relax, but you notice, you see, this is very important, to go into your inner sanctuary. I can't say that enough, but because it might not even be you that goes through all this stress, and for sure that's the truth about the nature of the split. Some people are already psychologically prepared, and others are prepared in another way that is of two different warlords. There's the benevolent warlord, very possible that's happening, who is definitely trying to inform us with their advertising. And then there's the malevolent warlord. See, the benevolence only right now is outnumbered, and it can only monitor everything through social media, the transparent thing that's going on, that everybody's worried about, our privacy and everything. And it's like, well, you don't have to worry about it if you can become love. Because, and that's tedious, because there are some people who don't know how to handle that you are a private person, or that there's anything, that there are any boundaries, that there is a way to go about life, that you create boundaries and you don't muck things up. You cherish it with that boundary. It's the same as, and then when people in the village, they didn't say, oh, Christ is in town. They just nodded and winked and handed each other a fish from the fact that they knew Christ over there. And it's like, well, how do you do it? Well, I don't know, but just help that person. They know how to fish better than we do. That's a secret story still. The Holy Gospel, the good news, the good news, the great news. And then here comes the narcissist. What good news? Here, let me just screw all that, screw it up, and keep trying, and then never give into it, because they don't know how to just, can you please at least say thank you, God, Oh, it's an empty thank you. By that time, you don't have to tell people if they to show gratitude. And see, people think you have to teach children how to give. No, there's a time when eventually they go, and they just give it away, because it's boring to be the one that happens at like age 4. Leave them alone, and eventually they're going to share. They're going to give it all away. You have to tell them to fucking not do that. And not really, that's not the way to live. But what if you're limited and you don't really live that way? Everybody else is not living that way, and so you got to learn how to be stingy. And It's, in effect, we're just trying to deprive each other and steal from each other and create. Let's walk around the scene. You know, we live in the neighborhood and we have and go to work and work for money and go there and get it from a building, and it's better food actually over here. This is fucking weird. I want out. I at least want a break, don't you? That's why I am taking a break. Everybody should be taking a break by now. That's what the Uranus in Taurus is called for a long time. You'll see my videos. It just says, you know what? Stop. That's what the vibration of the earth is going to do. Like, vibration of the earth, literally, you want it to shake? Learn to camp out. Stop. I was trying to put these videos up here that I'm making. And the thing that has been happening is just, I'm getting the sense of something here. It's really a trip. And the reason why I'm up in the mountains and how I need to just hang out. You know, you need to do the stop thing. You know, it's not perfect. You're going to have to make it work, babes. You don't run away from the fact that it's just you there and you need to make now a good time. Find out how to innovate. Don't go to the fast food. Figure out how to cook something. Do you know how to make any kind of bread? Do you know how to work with your hands? That's what's going to come up. And see, the thing is human beings are so amazing. And also, we need to hunker down and wait this out. It's, as far as the human organism is concerned, by the time 20 years is up, which is the plUtO in Aquarius age, we will have brought up all of the technologies which might include reconnecting with our benevolent space beings who only wish the best for us and say, we would love for you to see how that we can transform that mound of granite that's 2 miles high into a massive stone quarry that will house you, and along with the technologies that will do things for you. And it has everything to do with, it's a holistic way of healing, because you're part of, they say you're part of the stars and you have all the dust in you of the stars. Well, you're a crystalline being. You're kind of needing to interact on a very elemental level here. Perhaps it's not so bad feeling. Life isn't supposed to feel bad and be full of illness and disease, and it's not supposed to be so flattened and just burn it. And it's just like flatten ash. Ash now, and it's getting smaller and smaller, and now we're reading stuff. Why do I have to put on glasses? Why is it that it's like, let's make it a grain of fucking salt big, reducing us down into and now you're just a speck, and we can't see the universe. Stop. There's a whole other way to look into it too. The stopping is to go to do introspection, and that's where we are now. And I hope everybody is done making noise out there for New Year's. Really, you know, it's time to hunker down for wintertime. Do you have enough? And you keep you understand that? Okay, I want to talk about this. This month on the 17th, I think it is. I already talked about it. I'm sure, but you need to know. When the sun conjuncts Pluto, it's going to happen in Aquarius. Well, it's going to still be in Aquarius when it's conjuncting. When the Pluto moves into Aquarius, it's still going to be conjuncting technically the sun, but the actual degree that it hits a final conjunction, and the sun will never conjunct the Capricorn Pluto for another 245 years. This tells me by January 20th, something of that old world is going to try and grab one more time and get control. Something is going to try to announce, or it could be an announcement, and this could just be the introduction as Pluto moves into Aquarius. It's like everything is so different now again. Just like the C19 announcement is what I was trying to talk about. I think the last video I put up, I don't know if I did put it up. But, I don't know, I hope that this doesn't happen. See, the thing is that a lot of people, you can see that, well, they got more buoyant. They understand a little bit more and they're just surrendering to love and they're not going to get dragged down by the people who are being dragged down. It's sad. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrific. It's a nightmare movie. It's going to continue too. The more that the truth, the more that the wrecking ball of Pluto goes into this massive kind of, it's a weird muddy scene, but then Pluto is going to start purifying. That's exactly what Pluto is. It's the purifier of astrology and or God. When God enters the room and begins to speak, just its voice makes chicken shit fall down, and what's left is like raising up, going, oh, finally we can grow. What are we doing today? We are being the truth. Yes, we are, and we know already, says Aquarius. What do we know? Let's get back to the megalithic structures that have been built and how to live. The Taurian age, the Taurus says we are on Earth and we enjoy all of our senses here. And guess what? Venus is Taurus ruled, and we do not ignore, not for one bit, women.